What is going on, my herd? Welcome back to another Black Sheep TV production. Today we continue our Does It Drift video series where we purchase vehicles in-game, build those cars up to drift spec, and then test those cars rigorously to see if they have the ability to be drift cars. Did I do that right? Was that good? Cut. Alright, cut. Today we have one that I've been kind of holding out on, one that I've known that's drifted for a while, one that I've just had in that gym kind of testing. And of course there's got to be a vehicle, right? There's got to be a vehicle. In every episode there's a vehicle. Come on, nah. We'll be testing this beast. She even running. Now if you guys watch real Formula Drift, this is definitely a reminiscence of Ryan Turk's rap of a couple seasons ago, and that's why I went with this rap. It kind of is. This car is a real mixed breed of a lot of different vehicles in my eyes, although it's a Dewbauchee, which means it would be in the Aston Martin class in the game. Nonetheless, it has a great wide body kit. Just yet another great looking Benny's car that also drifts. So let's take it on this little track that I made up a little while ago. This track is now obsolete, so I can bring it in and show you guys what this thing's capable of, huh? Let's get a retake on that. Okay, right, can we cut? Can we cut? Hey, retake, thanks. Retake. Alright, so it was a little sloppy, don't get me wrong, a little sloppy. This car is real touchy, you gotta be real on point with it, okay? Cost is a big one, guys. This thing, once she looks good, she's 1.5. You know, count her out of the bank, she's a hefty one. What you're getting out of it, she's real touchy, she's real finicky, but she's a drifter. I mean, the biggest problem I have with it is it's such a fast drifter that it wants to shift on you unless you are perfect with that e-brake, especially in the transitions. And anytime you allow it to straighten out, that's why in the transitions it wants to shift, because you're technically straightening it out. Those are the biggest things you're going to deal with this car. It's still going to score a 7.5 in my book. You are getting something pretty nice out of this car for the amount that you're paying for it. Again, if you're not at the top of your skill in this drifting, and especially in the EMDA standard drifting, I don't know if I would go ahead and buy this thing, because it takes a lot of getting used to. I kind of like these tracks where you can just kind of set something up in a parking lot and do a little freestyle, and you don't really have to follow anything. You can do whatever the hell you want, go wherever. I do, you know, it shows you that it drifts. I can do some longer drifts like this, which I didn't do, but. Driftability. Kind of went over it. She really wants to shift. That's her biggest downfall, and it's because it drifts so quickly. So yes, it will be a top competitor in Gymkhana. There's no questions asked. I'm guessing that this, the Comet, the Rapid GT, the way it's looking, those will probably be the big contenders. I know I'm forgetting one or two, but there's a couple in the sports class that are just heavy hitters when it comes to time clock, and they all really hit pretty close to the same. So once you get used, and they all drift so differently. You know, if you get in those three cars that I said, this, the Rapid GT, and the Retro Comet, and even the base model Comet may be right there with it, now that I think about it. Those cars, they all drift so differently, but once you get used to them, they put down a very similar time, so it's kind of hard. Once that's what we came down to in testing, not to release our whole testing, or my personal testing thing of this Gymkhana, but what it comes down to is you can kind of pick any of those 3 or 4 cars. I know I'm forgetting 1 or 2 for sure. I am forgetting 1 or 2, but you can pick those 4 or 5 cars, and you're gonna be able to get used to it and compete with whoever's in the other cars. So again, driftability on this thing is not going to get too bad of a score. She's going to get an 8. She's going to get an 8. I would like to have a little bit of more leeway. Obviously, this is not going to be some Formula Drift car. And again, guys, I want to clarify, not every car that I do in this is going to be able to go on a Formula Drift track and be able to whip out those long, you know, everlasting drifts. But this car certainly will do some gymkhana drifting, and it'll do it quite quick. We got a 7.5, we got an 8, and that brings us into efficiency. This car drifts normally. I've never blown one up that I know of, that I can think of. I've had this car for quite some time. It's been in the testing room since the beginning of the EMDA because I loved the look of it. I actually bought one, sold it because I didn't like it, learned how to stance the vehicles, and then rebought it, stanced it, and realized it's a different monster. So that cost me a little bit of cash, but long story short, I got the car that I wanted, and it's a great looking car. It is one that I suggest you saving up your money. Look at the stance, look at the camber on it, the tires. Man, the car is by far one of the best looking ones in the game, in my opinion, when it comes to the drift standards. So everything that's been said being said, the efficiency on this thing is actually quite good. I can't blame skill. You know, I can't take the amount of skill that needs to be done to really make this thing efficient into it, because if you get the skill, this is a really fun car to drift in. But she's really finicky. She's real touchy. Even you can see me. I've had this car for a while. I haven't been in this car too much recently, but this is just making excuses. I should know how to get in this car and rip it up right away, which I kind of am, but I'm making a lot of mistakes, and I'm freestyling it, so. Efficiency, guys, she's getting a 9. She's getting a 9. I mean, the biggest thing that's hitting it on efficiency is the straighten out. It gives you very little reaction time to hit the e-brake and hold that for a second to get in your transition. So a 7.5, an 8, and a 9 is bringing us to a total of 24.5. Scoring up there. She's scoring up there. Not too shabby. Not too shabby. As always, guys, we want you to stay happy, stay positive, and we will speak to you next time.